The initiative is definitely fresh. Why? Because it's it's based on the current market dynamics. I think we are well aware of the fact that the pandemics acted as a tipping point for the remote work landscape, and it's pretty much game changing. It's a huge shift, not only on with implications in real estate, but also on how products are designed and managed, and how companies are run in the future. Companies are definitely thinking now about shaping up their remote work policy for the future. And we can see a couple of scenarios which, taken by themselves as a standalone options, are really not great. So continuing going to the office as we've been doing for so long, seems not right, and we're definitely not going to see that too much. But also working from home, which is just maybe a sub-segment of the whole remote work umbrella, has its issues as well. People either cannot focus at times, or they focus too much and they cannot step out to the work dimension and back to their personal life. And the answer to this dynamics is adding some flexibility to this whole construct, to the remote work construct that companies are shaping up. Because probably offices will remain in the future, but repurposed and smaller. And we need to give employees the freedom and the flexibility to work from anywhere, especially since many studies are showing that this will be a key criteria for future candidates when choosing their future workplace. Pluria is meant to offer the freedom to work from anywhere and basically redefine how things are done and how companies and employees work together. How we are doing that? With a network of alternative workspaces. You can think of it as a constellation of alternative workspaces, ranging from co-working spaces, but also hotel lobbies and lounges repurposed for this, and coffee-specific work-ready coffee places. And we are doing this. We are focused, obviously, on Romania with Bucharest and Cluj. By the way, we are launching officially next week. But also, since we have noticed there is no clear, B2B specific company that does that, we are also doing a soft launch in parallel, both in Berlin and Madrid, and try to capture from this very early stage of market forming as much as possible of the growing potential. This network is already a bit outdated. We are constantly adding, and we've been doing so for the last weeks, adding partners, affiliates to our network. How we are delivering the service? Obviously, through a mobile app that needs to be top-notch, where employees can discover the options around them and can very easily book and check in to their workplaces. And we are doing this not only with work desks, but also very soon down the roadmap, in a couple of months, we will add the functionality for users to book meeting rooms in all our areas. On the other hand, companies, because they are our clients, in the end, will have clear overview and control on what's going on. So we will offer them a heat map, a live dashboard that will show the distribution in real time of their team. So just to see who works from there, and other functionalities that are B2B specific will follow. The benefits, you can structure them in three broad categories. The first are the soft ones that are more related to the employee benefits, and they result from the productive freedom that is being offered to the people. which in turn yields significant benefits for the company themselves. And people will commute less, will find the best place to be productive, and also have opportunities to collaborate with their team members.
Andrei, try to end, or actually end, because we'll switch to the Q&A. So one last call to action before doing that.
All right. I would just about to conclude. Our service is tailored on the maturity level or the remote work adoption that each company has. So we can custom fit either a subscription model or on-demand type of service for each company.
Thanks, great. And let's quickly jump into the next 5 minutes. Who wants to go next so that we have a smooth transition from this to that? Nicoleta, I was not seeing you earlier, but if you have a question, you can go first. If not, we can ask somebody else.
Actually, I was curious to understand if you tried this discussion with the company that already have a big headquarters that is now empty. So paying both for a big leasing or I don't know, any kind of maintenance costs and for this kind of app, because usually big companies do have headquarters.
Absolutely. We had tons of discussions in the past weeks. Obviously, this model is most efficient to companies that are willing to decrease some of the allocated headquarters space, and most of them are planning to do so, even if they're unable to do now because of maybe tighter lease agreements. But they will definitely try to do that in the coming years. But even so, even for the period that they do have a head office, Pluria acts as a complementary service. It can be accessed on demand for the very rare occasions when people are unable either to go to the office or they cannot be productive at home, and it's quite easy, and it saves a lot of headache for companies and for employees that at times might not be productive due to the environment. Mm-hmm. So it's okay for now as well. It has definitely a use case.
Thanks. We have Dragos. Who wants to go right after Dragos? Please raise a hand. Dragos, shoot your question.
Hi, Andrei. So how much do you want to raise, for what, and at what valuation?
We are not looking for a round at this point in time. We have done a pre-seed in the past weeks, and it is enough for we have a runway of about a year, and it will be enough for the investment and the roadmap that we are planning. However, we plan to do definitely a seed round with a more material investment mid next year to account and to use for international expansion and properly setting up the commercial force in the geographies that I mentioned.
Cool.
Great. We had Sergio, and please carry on in actually showing me your hands because I'm watching the screen. Sergio, shoot your question.
Which is the biggest challenge that you see for your product launch?
Like in any two-sided marketplace, a careful balance between supply and demand is key. It's a classical chicken and egg dilemma, and we need to go back and forth and do a virtuous cycle between growing simultaneously demand and offer. So affiliating enough spaces in the network to provide enough capacity for the people that we hope that will adhere. And so keeping this balance is always for a marketplace probably one of the most delicate aspects that we need to consider.
Great, thanks for the input. Let's see some other hands. If we had people queuing up to Christian, please go next.
You have a prop tech in value here, and which is an enabler for the reality. And I'm wondering, because you probably can tell us what is what is the difference between your business model and WeWork business model?
So WeWork is an operator. So they lease or own and then sublease the spaces. So they basically operate a chain of locations, while we act as an aggregator, and we plan to affiliate not only the co-working chains, but as I've presented, a few other type of locations like hotels and also coffee places.
Thanks for the.
If I understood, that was my answer. Considering, hopefully, I understood correctly your question, because part of it was a bit.
Sure.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, let's move on to another one if we have questions, because we have not much time left. Did anyone else wanted to ask a question? Sorin and Ioana. If I missed Sorin, Ioana, thanks. You can go next.
I was just wondering, for example, our team doesn't really, we all work from home now because, you know, the COVID situation. And at the office, we used to be very quick to gather and discuss ideas. And now it's very easy to call each other from home because you don't interrupt anybody. If people were to work, because some people struggle with working from home, if they were to work somewhere else, would they be able to answer a call? Or would you be able to select some spaces where you could just also be able to talk, not just be creative on your own?
Absolutely. Since we will be a platform, we will have many options, and you know, the facilities will provide many amenities to the users. So for sure, like we have meeting rooms, and we will have with phone booths and different type of facilities across the network.